Welcome into another edition of the Gator Nation Football Podcast Film Review. I'm your host, James DiVirgilio, and on today's episode, we'll take a look at Florida's offense versus Georgia's defense. This game was a tale of two games before Lagway got injured and after Lagway got injured. Georgia's defense entered this game not as successful as previous defenses, still top 20, can perform lights out, number one success rate-wise on passing downs, 10th on third down, generated a good amount of pressure but weren't often getting sacks from that. How would Florida handle this? Well, largely Lagway handled it quite well, as we're going to see throughout this game. Even though he only completed 2 passes, he was largely comfortable, and the running backs did a fantastic job with yards after contact, and Florida's left side, best side offensive line was featured as well. As always, if you like this content, sub to this channel, follow us on social media, check out our weekly podcast, and drop us a dono to support our efforts to bring you more of this type of content all year long. All right, first down and 10 for Florida. We knew coming into this game that Georgia was not going to play the same style of defense that Kentucky did, and of course, right away, you see that not to be the case, as they've got 2 high safeties here. They're going to keep a lid on this for most of the game. Georgia has a luxury that few other teams have, and even though they're not dominant versus the run this year, they still like to play with a light box with just 6 guys. And obviously that helps against a guy like Lagway who can hit vertical passes. It does offer, though, significant opportunity to Billy Napier, a guy who wants to run first anyway, featuring boxes that, of course, are favorable. I'll pay attention to the box count throughout this film review today, as it's often going to dictate whether or not Florida was in a good or bad play. And sometimes Florida was even able to run into heavier boxes and still have success, which was a large reason why they were able to stay in this game after Lagway gets injured. Right away, coming out of the bye week, Florida actually has a big play on this run design queued up here. Unfortunately, it's not going to pay out because Jackson's going to come in here rather than follow his blockers to the outside. As a running back, you always want to follow your blockers, especially if the play is cooking the way you want it to be, and it is right now. We've got a seal right here on the outside. This is not where this play is designed to go. It's designed to go out here, which is where we're going. Now, of course, if this defender had flipped himself onto this side, he could take this route, but this is where he wants to go. Jackson is not going to elect to go there. Instead, he's going to be a little impatient, in my opinion, and turn this upfield right into the would-be tackler. Florida could have had a big play here if he follows Hansen around the outside. Right, you can see a world where that can be a chunk gain or even an explosive. Instead, right out of the gate, we see Georgia playing with a light box, Florida correctly running, having a good play on, and getting not a whole lot out of it. Second and 9 now for the Gators. Still a very light box here. Again, Georgia was 6. You're going to see the effect that Lagway has on this zone read. They're going to attempt, right, to fill this. So we're going to spill the run here and then backfill this right here off the side. So Florida's going to win this battle with Lagway right away, IDing his read. So it's nice. He's not going to get affected by the spiller, right? Who's flying in here and aggressively trying to break this up. He is going to be here waiting for the filler on the edge, and he's going to read him. And he's really, really good at this. We've seen this all year long. He's going to hold the ball for as long as possible, keep it hidden. It's hard to know for him whether or not he has the ball or does not have the ball. He has to wait until this is completed so the Lagway cannot come out the other side. And that's key because Florida has everything going for them right now. Really nice work here by the lineman to block and turn this way. We have George one-on-one versus a linebacker where if we can seal this off, we've got a big play. But all of this starts by Lagway holding the read defender flat-footed off the edge so that if he does hand this off, we can hit this gap right there. It's exactly what happens. Notice how he's not going to be contacted. And then unfortunately for Florida, they have a chance for another big play here on second down if George can just get a better block. And that's been something that's really affected Florida all throughout the Napier era, as they're often one player away, one block away from something bigger happening. It's not going to happen. George is going to whiff that block entirely, and that's going to lead to a tackle. But again, you can imagine a world where Jackson's able to get around here, and we're having yet another explosive run play. So Florida 0 for 2 early on, with 2 plays, of course, that could have gone for more, but you see the effect already of Lagway's really high-level zone readability with the ball fake, with how he hides it, with how he reads it, with his head positioning. All of those things lead to that opening and that window that Florida cannot capitalize on there, but does set up a third and short. When you face a Billy Napier team, you're going to face a ton of pre-snap motions. All of you have watched this channel for any amount of time, of course, know that. Georgia was trying to simplify their looks to not get caught up in this. They get caught up in this one here. I'm going to show you just the end of the motion sequence where you see Mizell coming across the formation, but they're going to have confusion. He wants to pass this off and drop back. It's going to get passed off to no one. That's going to leave Mizell wide open. Right away, Lagway is going to do the right thing and read the mesh, read the bunch in here, right? Read all of this stuff, and then if he gets what he wants, get his eyes on it and make a throw. Here it is right here. Everything looks great about Lagway's early stem. We talk often about the beginning of his drop back and his early stem and how nice that looks. On vertical passes, the next phase often looks really, really good as well. On short passes, the next phase does often not look good. And you are going to see that right here with his throwing technique. Mizell's wide open. He should not pull this foot back here and go flat platform. He should keep his body posture just like it is. Plant the right foot, drive forward, and throw. That's going to lead to a more accurate throw. We've been covering this here on the channel. Instead, he's going to open his platform all the way up, even lift up a little bit. No reason to do this. He's got a nice clean pocket, and that is going to make a very inaccurate short throw here on 3rd down and 4, which causes Mizell to make a really nice catch, and Florida's still going to convert here. But as we see from the other angle, which you're about to see on this conversion from Florida, Lagway needs to clean this up. This should be a point of emphasis for him heading into the offseason. It should be the number one thing he works on in his maturation as a quarterback. And of course, as a freshman, he does so many things so well. But all of this right now is great. Helmet line right here, reading all of this stuff, let it play out, have kind of lazy eyes, I like to call it, let everything go. Now you see it. You see the flash of white, no red here, a lot of grass, everything that you want. Now let's finish by planting the right foot, bottom of your screen here, plant the right foot. Do not open up that left foot all the way like he does. Now we're square to the field, not what we want. We've lost our drive line. We'd rather be right here with our feet. Drive line down, put the ball out into space, let him run, let him get it. And instead, the shorter passes, this is obviously way easier than throwing the ball 60 yards down the field, but his mechanics often break down the most on the short balls, and that's what leads to this pass being way behind him here and not allowing Mizell to head up on the defender earlier. It is a 1st down, but it requires a really nice catch from Mizell, and it's a really poor ball from Lagway. Yes, I'm riding him hard right now, but I think it's part of his game he can clean up perhaps the quickest because he already displays really good footwork on a lot of the vertical throws. He needs to commit that to the short throws. It's often as if he wants to get the ball out quickly when he sees what he wants, and he sort of just goes to an off-platform throw. So something for him to fix there, but Florida early on does convert their first 3rd down with the pre-snap motion, leading to confusion. All right, Florida facing a 3rd down and 8. Lagway early on 1st down had missed a chance to hit a RPO. Had a route here with DK. I think there was a miscommunication on that play. It looks like DK sat in the right spot. Lagway missed it. Didn't break that one down for you just because there's some other stuff to look at here later on. However, on 3rd down here, how is Georgia going to play Lagway on 3rd down and 8? Well, are they going to bring pressure? Are they going to run a sim pressure? And if you're Lagway, you're familiar with how Georgia plays defense because it's very similar to how Florida plays defense. They're going to bring a simulated pressure. Florida, thankfully, is not going to run all hitches. I'm proud of that. They're not going to run all hitches, but we are going to have a breakdown here on the sim pressure as we twist around. We're late to ID this here on the left side of the O-line, and we are going to get pressure rather immediately through that opposing A-gap, and that's going to cause Lagway, just as his right foot goes down into the ground, to have to escape. Georgia is the number 1 passing defense success rate-wise. You don't want to be in 3rd down and 8 from them, and Lagway takes off, not going to wind up getting there, and Florida's first drive is going to result in a punt. All right, Georgia up 3-0 here, 1st down and 10. This time, Georgia was 7 in the box. 7 in the box right here. And in fact, they're shaded to the proper side for where Florida's going to run this ball. But on 1st down and 10, Florida's going to win despite the pre-snap look looking solid for Georgia. Georgia's all over this play right off the start. But Florida's just going to win up front. Something you love seeing on film in these scenarios. We're going to turn all these blockers here towards the sideline. Going to get out to the 2nd level right here. And that's going to create room for Jaden Ball to do his thing, right? The key for Jaden Ball is to beat the unblocked man coming off the backside, which he does. If he's not quick enough to beat him right there, then you're not going to have this play, but he is. Then you've got Slaughter 8 yards down the field doing work over here, creating some room for Ball. And then Ball's going to do what he always does by finishing this run falling forward. So first down and 10, Florida hugely successful there, picking up almost 9 yards on that first down run. Left side, best side on display early. 3rd and 1 here for Florida. This is going to be unfortunate. Again, this is interesting, right? Georgia, this is part of the Lagway effect. Look how Georgia's playing this 3rd and 1. They are way off the ball. In fact, they have a tight front here, 5-man box, tight front with a hang defender right here. So they have only 6 in the box. Florida playing in a telephone booth. They should have a million different ways to pick up this first down on 3rd down and 1. But Georgia's going to do what Georgia does almost every game, and they tend to get teams all the time. Is they're going to have their middle linebacker call it a little defensive line shift, and that's going to get Crenshaw to jump right here and get ready for it. There it is. Watch the linebacker. There's the call, and they shift really quickly, and that's going to make Crenshaw right here. Dixon just look up, get the hand going, and then he's already in the snap, and we're done, right? We're all off kilter. Everyone's firing. Ball's not snapped yet. That's unfortunate. Also, as a quick aside, Florida's running a play here that we've seen them do this before, and it's possible they're missing a blocking assignment, but right here, this is awesome for Florida. This is a great look, except the only guy who can really mess with this right here is going to be your linebacker coming off the C gap here, where you think you would just have Barber, your left tackle, just meet him. Instead of trying to get all the way to the second level, he could easily meet him here, and then you can have him work a double here and then work up there, especially on 3rd and 1. You're not trying to necessarily score a touchdown here, but anyway, it's curious. The play is going to be stopped, so we're not going to know, but we're not going to block him. He's going to come through unblocked. Either way, I think that's curious because you don't need, Barber also blocking out here. I think that's not necessary. Either way, Florida's going to get a false start, and then on the 3rd down and 6 play, unfortunately, a little bit of pressure is going to happen, and Lagway is going to miss Boardingham on a ball that he throws over his head. Boardingham not really open. Is kind of trying to make a play scrambling out of the pocket, and Florida's going to go 0 for 2 on their first 2 drives. After an interception by Devin Moore, Florida's in business now on the plus side of the field. What is Napier going to elect to run on 1st down and 10? And what is Georgia going to do about it? So early on, again, Georgia right here playing safe, right? Look at what their posture is. Safety's well off the ball. They've got a 6-man box in here. Linebackers aren't moving forward on the snap, right? They're not coming hot. Now they see what looks like run. Linebackers are coming downhill. But still, off your screen, on the top, we're looking pretty good here. Looks like a cover 2 look, perhaps. 2 high safeties splitting the field. And then there goes Mizell. I'll wait to talk about the routes when I give you the end zone cam here. Lagway is going to open up. And this is where you're going to see Lagway's footwork. Just focus on Lagway on your screen. Watch the footwork. Right foot plant right there. It's perfect stuff. And then look at the platform here. You saw what we talked about earlier on the short throw he missed. But look at the platform here as he's going to stay on platform and drive forward into this throw. He's going to come forward. He stays on platform. He fires the ball. And as soon as you see a Lagway pass basically go deep, you already know it's going to be something good, right? You already know it's going to be an explosive play because he does not miss. DJ Dimes, the best deep thrower in all of college football, does not miss. Aiden Mizell, one of the fastest guys in college football, who has not gotten enough PT, in my estimation, is in here for a tutty. DJ Dimes with a dime. Florida in the end zone. Mizell here with a ball spin, a classic celebration. Lagway, look, he's feeling comfortable. He's not going to overly celebrate this. He knows he can do this. Fans are fired up. Beck is not fired up. Florida up 7-3, right? Mizell's feeling it. Everyone's feeling it. But how did this happen? What exactly is the pre-snap look after this play? And the answer is Georgia is not going to allow this by design. They're playing too high. But this defender here is going to be, let's call him the bait defender, right? And you're going to see Lagway ID him and basically just watch him as he executes his play fake here. You're going to see Kurt Herbstreit highlight the referee, which I think is, not really the problem, in my opinion. If you're coaching up Georgia here, the problem is going to be you can't have your safety so worried about run fit after a turnover on 1st and 10 versus the best deep throwing quarterback in the land. You've got to expect something like this. Lagway going to be staring right at this guy. He wants to see if he's going to come in some. He knows that Mizell is running a cover 2 beater, basically. He could probably bend this either way he wants, take it straight vertical, take it here, whatever the case is. See if we can't get him to come down some and put this ball right over his head, right? Very, very simple throw for Lagway. Here's the fake. Again, there's a lot of traffic in here. He cannot see through all this traffic. You and I can see Lagway has the ball. He cannot see that. But regardless, he shouldn't worry about being in run fit, especially playing on Georgia. He should be chilling back here. Do your job. He's not. It's college football. See if you get a chance to get him, right? And he's going to come up. He does not know right now that Lagway has the ball. Look at his posture. He's still going to come up into, oh no. Right now, he realizes, wait a minute, I've got a vertical route still coming. Lagway now does not have the ball. I can see he's dropping back. I'm in trouble. At this point, there's no way you're catching Mizell. Doesn't matter who you are. As long as Lagway makes a good throw here, we're golden. Lagway's head has never left this vision line, which is perfect. Right now, Lagway knows he's got a touchdown. He just needs to get on platform and get his feet underneath him. He's IDing it, platform, feet underneath, sling it, right? Just before we get hit right here, put a good ball in and we got a touchdown. Don't take this for granted. This ball Lagway throws here. How many college football players have you seen missing this pass? How many quarterbacks each week are missing deep passes? Lagway is not one of them. If he gets an opportunity, he's going to make you pay. There goes Mizell into the end zone. There's the ball spin. And here's the disappointed Georgia fans, right? Some of these guys wearing some pink shirts the way the TV's looking. They're very disappointed. They're like, we knew this, Kirby. You got to know this. Glenn Schumann, the guy throws the ball deep. I don't know who this Mizell guy is. I've never heard of him before, but he seems fast, right? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? And let's watch it one more time because it's beautiful. There's Lagway on platform, quick, release, delivery, wide open, over the top, no chance for the safety, right? And then the bummed out Georgia fans right there in the end zone. And Florida in business early on, ball spin from Mizell, right? This is everything you wanted to see if you're a Florida fan. And again, for Mizell, taking advantage of the opportunity with Trey being out, a guy that I've basically on film review been begging for to have more of. I think he fits with Lagway's skill set. I also think he's putting a lot of good stuff on film and more than just route running. He's going to put it on film this game. But Lagway to the well early, hitting a bomb against Georgia. Florida up 7-3. Another pick by the Gators defense, and Florida's in business at midfield, and Georgia's giving them a tasty light box of just 5 men here. There's no way they're going to allow Lagway to bomb them again. The Lagway effect is for real right now. Florida getting light boxes. They almost never get this under Napier. And then you're going to see Jaden Ball go to work, right? He's got choices here. He's got a two-way go. He can come through here. He sees a linebacker scraping. He's instead going to choose to bounce this right here, and Florida is going to just wall this stuff off. Look at how beautiful that looks. Then we've got Jaden Ball to the outside. Going to put his best move on right here. He's been frequently beating defenders, puts a good move on there, doesn't have anything, and here is an underrated part of Ball's game. Right now, I've got about a 4-yard gain. He's not going to commit to that juke and keep trying. He's going to put his head down, drive through the tackler, and pick up an additional 2 yards, right? Every additional 1 or 2 or 3 yards, that's hidden yardage for a running back where he makes the right decision to pick up more. In a game like this, Ball was sensational in yards after contact. He had 64 rushing yards. 56 of his 64 rushing yards came after contact. Remarkably, he was also hit at the line of scrimmage or behind it on 53% of his carries. 53%, yet he still produced that yak number. Jackson was hit at the line just 16.7%, but he also had 41 yards after his contact for 74 total yards. So both running backs doing an excellent job like we saw versus Kentucky generating yak. And this may seem like a small thing, but Jaden consistently does this, and those yards add up, and they change down in distances throughout the course of a game. 2nd and 4, again, Florida facing a light box, right? This is kind of a Billy Napier dream scenario, light box. Let's go left side, best side, right there to Ball. Squeezes through the hole. Another first down for Florida. 2 runs and a first down versus Georgia. This is not something Florida has seen. Billy Napier versus Kirby Smart, but they're seeing it right now early on. And this true freshman who's a Wildcat quarterback putting some nice stuff on film. 1st down and 10. This is a nice play design by Billy. Of course, on this channel for 3 years, we've talked about Billy's ability to design really nice running plays. That's what he's best at. I think X's and O's wise is what he has the best feel for. He's most creative with. And Florida cooks up a nice look here. They started off in empty. We were in empty here with Ball here. He moves back. We were trips out here. Now we've moved the line over here. Georgia then going to get a little more heavy in the box, right? Which you would think Florida had a light box early on. Why not just stick with it? And now we're going to bring my Zell over in motion because we know Georgia will bring another guy into the box, and we're going to make this look like we want to run an inside zone, or perhaps we want to run this to the edge. And this is why this is going to be a nice setup. There's your fake pop pass. Let's hold everyone here for a second. Okay, it's probably going to be an interior run now. It's not a pop pass. Probably what they're going to wind up doing. And now we're going to watch Lagway cook as he does, right? Watch Lagway cook. Look at Lagway. Look at the fake and look at how long he rides this fake. Here's 31 right here. He knows what his job is, but he saw earlier, hey, the last edge defender, he waited and we creased him right here. I'm gonna feel this out. I think I'm reading what Lagway's doing. He's clearly he's handed the ball off now, right? I can't see the ball. He has to have given it up to Jaden Ball. There's no way. I've got to make a play. I'm gonna step in here and I'm gonna make that play. I'm gonna be that guy. And then right now he still thinks he has the ball, but here comes Lagway, right? And that is a fantastic, that is such a good zone read. Look, we saw this on the very first zone read Lagway put on film. We covered it here on the channel. We talked about how good he is at this. And now we're off to the races. And again, Lagway here, nice job. Here's your block. You don't have one here. Let's see if we can't get outside that and make something happen. And we do. Off to the races, little stiff arm, pick up 8 or 9 yards. And here comes my favorite part of this entire play right here. Check out this coach as he interacts with 31. Here's 31. Look at this right here. Headset comes off. He's going to plead with him. What is going on? Look, here's the read, right? I told you, what are you doing? We practiced this for 2 straight weeks. I'm begging you. You're the edge defender. You can't go for that fake. You can't do it. You got to be locked in. He's just looking at him right there, right? And 31's thinking, I'm not going to hear this. I'm going back to the sideline. Meanwhile, Lagway's right here thinking, this is great, man. I've got these guys so pissed off at each other that they can't even think straight, right? He ate that fake like such a cookie. It was his favorite piece of dessert right there. And I'm right here on the Georgia sideline for 8 or 9 yards. I'm a true freshman, and this guy's like, dude, we talked about this. You can't eat that fake like that. And he's like, but coach, it was so good. I couldn't see the ball. The guy's like David Blaine out there. I don't know where the ball is. And either way, Lagway just doing some nice stuff here in the zone read game. You're going to see it from the other angle. Same thing going on here. And you're going to watch 31 eat this again. We'll watch it in real speed because you already know what's happening. And then there's your fake, and he's out the back door, and he's cooked, right? He's cooked. There's the coach who's already getting heated up right here. He's already getting fired up. You can feel it. He is already hot at the end of this play. He's not even looking anymore down here at Lagway. He's just looking for 31. He's like, where are you? What are you doing? What's happening over here? But that is a great fake. Lagway earned that. He earned that. And yeah, if you're Georgia, you got to stay there. You have to honor that. He puts that stuff on film. You cannot not honor that. That's great stuff by Lagway. 1st and 10 for the Gators. Keep your eye on Jaden Ball here on this play. He's going to bounce this outside. And look at the quickness that Ball has when he's bouncing this, right? Right here, we've got the edge protected if you're Georgia. He feels like he's in good position. He feels like he can push off of Barber and then get there. This D tackle thinks he can get a hand on Ball. He cannot. Ball's going to escape right out of this, and now we're not going to be able to get the edge. We're going to throw our hands up like I'm being held, right? But Ball is so much quicker than I think teams realize, even when watching film. He explodes out of these moves in the backfield. You're going to see more of this in this film review. And then, of course, right there, finishes with an extra yard or two at the end. 1st down and 10. Another very positive 1st down and 10 run. Left side, best side. Florida looking good early on. All right, 2nd down and 3. Georgia now loading the box up more significantly. 6 here, plus 7, plus a potential 8th in the box. So it might be a good time for Florida to try a play action. Seems like Georgia is saying, hey, no more of this run game, right? We're susceptible now to the play action fake. Florida going to run into a heavy numbered situation here. Look, I don't love that for obvious reasons. I think good football is always doing the right thing with regards to the numbers. And in this game, Georgia has offered Florida a lot of favorable numbers, and Florida has run the ball effectively, and that's been great. But in these situations where Florida's run the ball so well to get down to this part of the field, seemingly kind of continuing to just do that into the teeth of this box is not a great idea. But you know what? Jaden Ball says, hey, I don't really care, James of the GNFP. I am going to basically sneak out of this block here that Crenshaw-Dixon doesn't get. And Lagway is going to escape. And then I'm going to show you that it doesn't really matter. Even though this play where Florida's going to run a power play, we're going to pull across. Here comes the pullers, right? It's supposed to go over here like this. it's going to kind of wind up still getting over there because that's how I'm going to roll. Even if Georgia's loading the box, I'm still going to get here. And there's a sweet little inside head fake, which we're going to get an inside linebacker taking that bite there. We're going to bury both of those guys, and that's going to allow us to get to the outside again because we're springy. And then we're going to absolutely cook number 7, who is not going to have fun with this film review today, right here. He's not going to have a good time. He's going to get cooked a couple times. And this move right here just kills him. I mean, he's gone, right? Let's just tap the thigh pad there as he drives by. Then we're going to carry number 4 for about 6 yards and get down here to the 12-yard line. So Jaden Ball doing Jaden Ball things, a sensational freshman running back for the Gators, a polished guy, especially for a high school Wildcat quarterback. I mean, he just is so polished at running back. Florida's really got something with him back there. 1st and 10 now. Georgia's begging for Florida to run play action. Once again, a bare front here with 5. We've got 8 guys in the box, right? Looking like they're going to man up here. This is the moment for Florida to hit them with play action. Let's do it. Before they had a light box. Now they're in a heavy box. Let's hit them with something here. Florida's going to go inside zone. This time Ball nowhere to go, setting up 2nd down and long. So I think Florida's missing opportunities on this drive to take what was there for them. I think that was a significant chance on 1st down and 10. You had Georgia really frustrated, over-committing to the run. Billy misses a numbers opportunity there. Even here now, 6 on the line of scrimmage, 7 here in the box. What is Florida going to elect to do on 2nd down and 11? Going to motion out. Now we're going to pull 1 out of the box, right? So now we're back down here to 6 in the box. So it's a light box. If Florida wants to run here, of course, they are certainly willing to do so. But instead, we're going to pass. So now we get a light box where we should be running. We're going to pass, and we're going to roll out to the right, which is, of course, not my favorite. You all know that. Not Lagway's favorite here as well. Georgia's clearly seen the roll out to the right all over film. There's nothing here. He's just going to quickly throw this ball away because there is nothing to do about that, right? Nothing you can do there. That's not going to work, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 11. Not a place you want to be versus Georgia. Florida's going to empty this out. Again, the number 1 passing defense with regards to success rate. Looking like they're in man defense here up top. Looks like they're in man defense down here. Looks like a cover 2 man look. And now they're going to let their safety rotate here and play single up top. So Florida's motion has essentially allowed them to go one-on-one here. At least it seems like this pre-snap with any route combo they want. The post-snap will confirm the same thing. Lagway knows they're in straight man. His route combo here is going to be, yep, you guessed it, hitch and hitch. So Florida gets the safety to move out. They can run any combination they want. They know they have man. They're going to try to run a little bit of a clear out here by getting in the way, but again, you're going to run a 3-yard hitch here. I'm not really sure what they're hoping for. Let's look at Lagway's footwork. This is a short pass. Let's see what happens on it. He gets to the right foot, and then right away we can see it breaks down yet again. So as we're backing up here, fine. And then you want to see his right foot hit the ground like we normally see it. Instead, he's actually in the air. He's going to bounce. His left foot never really enters the throw until the end, and then he's going to fade away, right? He's fading away. This is not quality technique. These are not good mechanics. This will lead to errant throws. I think a lot of this is just he's not really comfortable yet with some of these shorter throws. Not like he is deeper. He is reading this out right here. He has that off technique defender this is a dangerous throw. When you've got somebody off at that level, they can break down on you and finish this to the house. And then here, he's got good protection, right? So ideally, he should wait this out to see what happens here with Burke. He knows he has man. He knows the safety can't help. He should wait to hit the deeper hitch to try to give himself a chance to get a 1st down. He's itching to get rid of this ball. No pressure, no issue. And thankfully, he's going to throw this ball to the outside. You can see the Georgia defender coming inside, trying to hit a home run. He puts this ball outside. Burke's going to be frustrated because Burke broke his guy off on the hitch. Again, it looks better for Burke than it would be in real life. His defender's just right back here. He'd come back down. Unlikely Florida's getting a 1st down in any regard there. And again, it's another one of those route combos that's always curious to me. You're going to run a short hitch and a shorter hitch, and man, I don't know what you're hoping for there on 3rd down and 11. A closer field goal, I'm not really sure. But either way, Georgia gets the job done here. Florida does kick a field goal. They're up 10-0 with all 10 points generated off of Florida interceptions. 1st and 10, late 2nd quarter. Look at the box Georgia has here, right? This is 1st down. Florida goes empty, but you've got a 4-man box essentially. A 4-man box as Florida empties this out here with 2 high. right? They do not want to get beat deep here from Lagway, and they're going to allow Florida to run. And it's perfectly right for Billy here to call a running play for Lagway. I know I saw some chatter about how it's like, what are you doing running the quarterback? Well, he's a dual threat quarterback. It's part of Florida's offense is to threaten you and not allow you to drop back and play like this. Hey, if you're going to bring just 4 like this and we've got 5 and we've got a mobile quarterback, we're going to take 5 or 6 yards every time we can. And that's a perfectly good idea in my book, right? You have to count on that. You can't fear injuries. Unfortunately, what Florida's not accounting for here is the trash field that Jacksonville offered both teams in this game. For what it's worth here, this is being blocked up, so Lagway can go either way, here or here. He's got a choice. He's going to elect to go to the outside here. And he's going to pick up, at least a few yards here on first down before he slips. Now, again, if I'm Lagway, I go up the middle in this play, but I think here, there it is. You're going to see it. That looks like, whatever, just a small little slip and fall. I was sitting in the stands right over here looking basically directly at this. I saw him grab the hamstring in real time, and then TV replays are going to show you exactly. There's the hamstring grab, exactly what happens, and it's not going to be pretty as we get a field injury here on Lagway. And there's no other way to describe this, as you're going to see the turf give out right here. There goes his foot. He's going to slide along for a while, and the hamstring is not going to like that. And there he goes, right? Another angle coming that's going to be even better. You've all already seen this. There's the hamstring grab. Not good. Not good at all. This is where game 1's going to end for Florida. And this is where it's criminal that fields like this are allowed to have athletes of this caliber who train so hard all year long on them. Forget about the money. Forget about anything that's involved in what these games are worth and television rights and everything else. Just this, the health of players trying to play a game, trying to play hard, trying to have fun, trying to win, all the training just to be this, to have your foot do this on a field right here. I mean, this is crazy. And it wasn't just Lagway, obviously, right? Both teams had issues with this. But this is outrageous. This is a very normal cut where if his foot does what it's supposed to do in the grass, this does not happen. There is no pulled hamstring in this regard. Instead, we have that trash. That's exactly what occurs. It's a pulled hamstring, thanks to that. And that's going to end game 1, right? 2 games in 1. Game 1's going to end right here for Florida. 10-3, good vibes. Even here, it's still 2nd down and 7. Lagway's looking comfortable in this game. Florida's certainly not dominating on offense, but they are moving the ball. Florida is dominating on defense, thanks to Beck being Beck. And this is going to fundamentally alter the rest of this football game. No matter how you look at it, this is a massive change, not only in momentum for both teams, but also for belief in both teams, as Florida's going to do a nice job to stay in this. But mentally, if you were there at the game, you could absolutely feel how much this affected both teams, with Lagway going out, a guy who I think had everyone's eyes on him and was certainly getting the better of Beck early on. But the field had other ideas, and for Billy Napier, a super unlucky break in a regime full of some unlucky breaks and a lot of sort of, you would call his own doing, that's cause for all these losses. But in this one, just a really tough situation for Napier and the Gators. The very next play now is Aiden Warner. I'm sure he did not expect to be in this situation. However, he was the backup quarterback. Florida does have a redshirt junior scholarship quarterback, Clay Millen, who started 11 or 12 games in college football before for both Colorado State and Nevada. He has more experience, but Billy, early on, before the season, had obviously said that Warner had beaten him out. And so that's his guy. He's going to go with him. It's been reported that Florida sort of only had a redshirt freshman walk-on available. That is not true. Obviously, Clay is a scholarship guy, but Warner is Billy's guy, so he's going to be the guy. And he's thrust into this. And look, right away on 2nd and 7, Georgia, I think, still shell-shocked. They only have 6 guys in the box, right? Florida should run the ball here. But Billy, as scared money don't make money does sometimes, he does the opposite thing of what anybody would think. He's often conservative when he should be aggressive, and he's aggressive when he should be conservative. In this case, with the numbers, the motion's going to bring a 7th guy in the box. But even here, right, look at Georgia. They're basically playing what looks to be a cover 4 pre-snap. They're going to wind up coming down here and making a cover 3. But pre-snap, they're telling you probably don't have a bomb. But Billy says, hey, you're probably thinking I'm not going to throw at this guy. Let's throw a bomb. And that's just a hope, right? There's nothing there. Overthrow, thankfully. On 2nd and 7, when you had a favorable box still to run and still some momentum, but you kind of say, hey, forget it. That's what I want to do. I'm going to do it. Let you know I'm going to throw. Stay back there. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. And now if you're Florida, again, Georgia, what is this? Georgia's really in a state of, this is wild, right? This is in a state of, I think, shock. I mean, this is a redshirt freshman quarterback. They're probably on the headsets like, who the heck is this guy? What should we be worried about? They just try to throw a bomb on us. Is that what he does? Doesn't look like that's what he does. They're going to play it really, really safe here. And Florida's going to have, actually, everything they want to get a first down. We're going to motion over to trips. I'm going to stop it right there. And Florida's going to have a perfect scenario of basically a 3-on-2 right here with the hitch coming right here. He's going to take the inside route. He's going to fade way off. And they have this hitch route. Warner has this hitch route if he wants it. He's going to drop back. Right foot's going to hit. He's going to get antsy. Can't blame the guy, right? He did not expect to be in this moment. He's going to get antsy, but he's got a hitch for a first down. And Georgia, again, so shell-shocked. This is the number one passing defense success rate-wise. They're going to give it to Florida. Warner's going to roll out when he shouldn't. He's got a bad habit of this. Of course, I'm going to watch film on Warner just like I would with anyone else. It's very important that we keep the same lens while giving him a big grain of salt because he is a redshirt freshman walk-on who was at Yale last year and didn't play a single snap, right? So either way, you don't want to escape the pocket here. You have a good pocket. Don't escape the pocket. You have an extra protector here. Buy as much time as possible. Now you're going to close down your options. You're going to limit the field that you have to work with. And he closes himself down basically to a couple of yards via the run. And so Georgia now on 3rd and 7 gets off the field. Florida still up 10-3, but the whole complexion and tenor of this game is fundamentally altered. All right, 1st down and 10, Florida inside their own 10-yard line, not where you want to be if you're Warner. You see Georgia now after the break cleaning some things up, saying, wait a minute, this guy's never played. Let's get 7 in the box. Let's get very aggressive here now. We don't need to be worried about this guy at all, especially with this scenario, with Florida up in the shadow of their own goalpost. There's going to be a stop on 1st down. Not much to see there, right? Loaded box, Florida no success. And now you're going to see Georgia again load the box heavily. And Florida says, well, wait a minute, it's 2nd and 9. I can probably run an extended handoff out here, something like this, right? Which is a perfectly reasonable and good thought. Badger has to get a block here. I'm going to be hard on Badger on this play. He's going to get a lot of love later on in this game for an excellent block. So he's going to kind of have some good ones and some bad ones. But he's got to do better than this as he basically winds up getting DK killed on this play. This is going to be a simple screen, right? Simple field side screen. You got plenty of space here. I'm not even sure what exactly Badger's looking at, but he needs to be getting the block here. He's not going to get it. DK coming out here. This play, actually, again, you could see this play could be good. If we get this block here, you are going to pick up some yards and could be more than some yards if you execute this well. Instead, Badger just completely going to whiff. He's reading this guy for the block, not him. Then he realizes, wait a minute, he's coming downhill. I need to get this block. Meanwhile, Warner's going to put this ball right into this window where we're going to get to watch DK's soul basically leave his body as he gets killed right here, right? He just gets absolutely murdered. He's going to stay in the game because Badger whiffs this block on what was a reasonable call, a safe call, and I mean, that's just death. They're going to pick that flag up. No flag there. Clean football hit. But if you're Badger, you got to block better, right? Blocking as a receiver is a significant part of your job. We've covered it here on the channel for years. Badger whiffs there. DK almost dies, and Florida's in desperate straits with 3rd and long. 3rd down and 9. Shadow of your own goalpost. Not where you want to be. Florida going to elect just to basically run punt on this one. Georgia going to also win way too easily there. Again, Florida's right side, Crenshaw-Dixon gets cooked. Georgia's fired up. Florida fans just being like, why can't we have nice things, right? That basically, we get something good going. We're winning. It seems incredible. Napier's got some momentum right now in this game. Lagway's looking like the real deal. And all of that taken away with a hamstring injury. And now Florida, with 1:19 left, still up 10-3, punting out of their own end zone. Georgia gets a field goal, making it 10-6. Florida burned a timeout, icing the kicker. Not a great idea. The math says it's better not to ice the kicker. Also, I think that timeout would be handy. It's going to wind up being handy on this drive. I think Billy thought there's probably no way he's going to even have a drive here. As Georgia has no timeouts, he can run the clock out. So it's a very safe opportunity to at least try a play. You could even pass the ball here. Incomplete pass, you can still run the clock out. So a lot of reason for Billy to believe he could try something like other 2-minute drives or 1-minute drives. We're going to start with a run and see what happens, right? If Billy gets something on the run, he'll probably keep on going. Warner at the helm. Georgia going to keep 2 high here, safe. Going to play 6 in the box. Going to play just a base defense here, right? Feel like they can probably stop Florida's run and what they want to do. And you're going to get a nice cutback here to the left side, best side. Cutback lane right here. We've got a two-way go. He's going to hit this hole here, and Jackson's going to be off to the races, and Florida's going to be in business. Makes a man miss right there, and that's going to be a nice 8-yard gain, allowing Florida, of course, to put themselves in range of this next play on 2nd and 2, which leads to left side, best side again. And now Florida's really in business, heading across the 50-yard line, putting themselves into danger territory, right? One more time right here. There's Kurt Herbstreit's lines, right? Left side, best side. He's not saying that, but I'm saying that. And look at the hole. Look at the work here by the left side, best side. There's Najee Harris. There's Barber. Here's George getting a hold. This is everything you want. Everything you want as a running back. Jackson's like, thank you very much. Barber working down the field right here, getting another block right here, second leveling, and then we're going to carry this all the way down into plus territory. And now we're set up, right? Only problem is Florida's deficient on timeouts. So no worries there. We're going to have to go down here and spike this ball. Clock stops on a first down. We're going to spike this ball and gives Mac a chance, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 now for Florida on the 49-yard line. One timeout, though. We have to be careful here with what we do with just one timeout. And in fact, why not run it again? Why not left side, best side this again? Look at Najee Harris. Look at Barber. Look at what we're getting up front here, right? Look at the wins that Florida is getting. Jackson finding some room there. Not huge, but significant. There's Napier right there calling timeout as soon as he can. His last timeout. Again, you'd like to have one more. You had to burn with the spike. Now you're going to bring up 3rd down and short with a quarterback that you have not really wanted to throw the football with. What exactly is Florida going to elect to do? All right, 3rd and 4 now. You know that if you can see 10 guys here, there's probably one guy down here on the bottom of your screen if you're watching live at home on television during this game. We're probably going to run a slant. You probably know that. Well, guess what? Georgia knows that too. In fact, Georgia's well aware that's what Florida wants to do, and that's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to motion over even further just to make sure that no one's going to mess with us. Let's clear everyone out, get the pre-snap look we want, and let's run that slant, right? Let's keep that going. Maybe one day we're going to slant and go. Who knows? We'll get crazy. And Warner is going to set up for this slant, and I think it's going to be a small miracle. I don't think this is on purpose, that this is not a pick six. So Georgia's defender has obviously watched this film. He is all over this, and he is thinking, I am going this way for a touchdown. This is Burke right here. This ball is going to be thrown further inside than he thought, which is why it's not going to be a pick six. It's going to sneak by him, and in fact, Burke almost catches this ball. There it is. That's not the look you want to see when you are throwing a slant as a quarterback. I can assure you that. But he jumps slightly too far to the outside, and he's frustrated with himself. Look, he thought that was his moment right there. He's frustrated. His team's still down 10-6. Can't believe it. He thinks Burke caught it. Burke didn't catch it, which brings up a 4th down and short. If you just saw that in your Billy, you probably want to draw something else up because that could have really changed the momentum of the game. Thankfully, a bullet's dodged. 4th down awaits. 4th down now for Florida. Look, the Gators can't get stopped short because if they do, they're probably not going to have enough time to get the field goal off, which we've seen that before. If they don't have a timeout, they need to get a 1st down, so the clock stops, spike it, and then kick a field goal. Given that we just saw what happened with a wider set slant, let's instead perhaps keep the same overload over here. Let's try to go with a look with DK, which I like that. Let's go with DK. Let's run a very simple, just leverage route here. It's the shortest throw possible. And again, we're trying to keep it safe by running the bunch up in here and moving everyone else over here. This is going to be effective because Georgia's going to have their rat or their robber or their low hole player who's basically the zone player in this play on this side of the field instead of a little bit more over here, head over center, where he could have affected this play because Warner is going to go, and most of these plays on film, he's just going to look right where he wants to throw right away. And he's going to need to fix that before the game against Texas. He's not going to be able to just take first reads like this and survive, right? In this case, though, Georgia's not sure what they're getting, so they're kind of just playing safe. They want to play 4 and 3 over here. They're good with one-on-one on DK. DK does a really nice job to get leverage here, get into him, get leverage, and create a throw window. And Warner does a nice job to make this throw. Stand in the pocket right here. There's your leverage. Here's your low hole player who's on this side and not this side. If he's on this side, we're in trouble. He's not, right? And he's going to have just enough window to put that ball in there, and then DK is going to make a great catch. I mean, that ball gets past him. A lot of zip on that ball. And he hangs on, and Florida then just has to get down, right? Clock stops, spike the ball, kick a field goal, which they would do. So Florida's going to go up 13-6. Heck of a drive there, a lot of running plays, but look, that one passing play was needed by Florida to convert. Warner, game for the job, gets it done. And Florida now with a truly shocking 13-6 lead at halftime, given that Lagway went out about 5 minutes ago. They were still able to hang on to the same lead that they had, and they head up a touchdown heading into the half. Florida with the ball now, first down and 10 coming out of halftime. Georgia going to immediately show you how it's going to be different. They're going to put 7 guys in the box. We saw 6 for a lot of that first half, 7 now in the box, feeling more comfortable that they don't trust the redshirt freshmen. They're going to make them beat them with the pass. Billy's going to answer right here with a play action call. I like this call. Notice how the linebackers get everything sucked up. But once again, I don't love how Florida always wants to roll out to the right. We've commented on this now the entire Napier tenure, on this exact play, actually, where you can just run this play fake and just sit right here in quick game. And if you do that, you've got DK wide open. But 2 things go wrong here. One is that we're going to read low to high. So he's going to read low to high first. By the time he comes around to DK, it's going to be too late. And then 2, Warner's not going to be as good at making this throw as Lagway is with the jumping sort of, over the top throw. Not the same kind of athlete. Not many are. And he's going to just bounce this ball before him. DK's wide open. He's there early. I just don't think you have to have some of the stuff Florida has on some of these plays. But either way, I like the play call there. The right call to go with the play action. Florida unable to execute, bringing up second down and 10. Second and 10, Georgia. Look, Georgia does some curious stuff in this game to me. I mean, really, actually very curious. Look at this. You got a 5-man box out here. Motion man, 5-man box, second and 10. You also know Billy likes to run on second and 10 in general. It's something he does, a decent amount. He'll pass on second and 10 a lot too, but he likes to run on second and 10, especially versus good teams. And left side, best side. I mean, they're going to let us have our way right here. Let's pull Georgia across the formation. Let's get the left side, best side sealing up over here. And let's let Ball get off to the races. There he is. Waits for George. Look at this guy. Again, a wildcat quarterback in high school. He's going to wait for his blocks. A lot of young guys would just burst out here and go into an 0-on-2. He doesn't. Waits for his blocks. Follows right behind him. Follows the play. And picks up a nice 6 yards, 7 yards on first down. On second down, rather. Florida's a light box on second down. Georgia inviting them to run. Perhaps just willing to set up a third down and short. I think interesting decisions there tactically from Georgia. Florida takes advantage, bringing up a third and manageable. All right, 3rd and 4 now. Florida pre-snap looks to have what they want. We're going to run a flat route here from Ball. We've got a bunch set here. So 4-on-3. Imagine these guys as your 4-on-3 the diamond. This could be your low hole player. Your unknown what, of course, Georgia's in right now. But Georgia's going to run a nice... There's multiple ways to run this. I like to call it a diamond. It's not a diamond, but there's multiple ways to run this funnel, if you will, where you want to keep the bunch set players in between either this triangle or in the diamond. Again, you can have this guy take the running back. You can have him take the running back and him slide over. There's a lot of ways to do it, but I really like how Georgia's going to elect to do this here at the top of this versus the stack set here versus the bunch set. And that is they're going to have him take the flat route as well. So they're going to be willing to play a triangle here. We're going to keep all 3 of these receivers inside the triangle. That's the goal, right? He's going to wall off the inside. He's going to wall off the outside. He's got the top. Let's keep these 3 guys in a triangle. And the flat route, which is the most dangerous route for either one of these guys to get to through traffic, let's have him take that if there is one. So he's going to read that. And if there is a flat route, he's going to take it. And there it goes. Right now, he's going to read it and take it. If you're Warner, you think, I've got everything I want. They're all bouncing back with this. Here's my defender coming over here to the flat route. Stick this flat route. I've got a first down. Georgia, though, game for the task right here. That's just a good play design by Georgia. Good recognition of what Florida wants to do. And again, Warner, he's not going to be reading that bunch set down the field. Florida just trying to get something easy and simple, something gadgeted there with the formation. Georgia, though, is there for that. Not going to happen. Not going to be easy. And again, Florida maintains the lead here after the first drive, but nothing really going there for Florida. Georgia gets a quick 3-and-out. Another turnover from Carson Beck and Georgia, and Florida in business again, this time at the 50-yard line. Can they extend their lead? Florida's going to run the play that I think has been best running-wise for Billy Napier in his tenure here, and that's the split zone play. We're going to see DK come across, going to zone this here. Split zone action here. I think Florida's run this play really, really well, and we're just going to spring Jackson right here. Going to take this off to the outside, 2-way go, right? He can either come here and follow the zone, or he can follow this over here. And DK is going to get a nice block, as DK does right there. Engage the block. That's going to slow him up just enough that when he dives for Jackson, he can't get him. Then Jackson's going to make a man miss on the outside right there. And we're going to pick up on first down a healthy gain, again, of 6 or 7 yards. Florida having a lot of success in the early downs in this game running the football. 2nd and 3, and look, Georgia still playing very safe on the back end, still trusting they can just get it done with a light box here, just a 6-man box. Florida's going to make a motion over here, and we're going to bring a 7th guy into the box, but they are trusting they can stop Florida in this situation with these light boxes, and Florida going to elect here to bring the pullers across, trying to run a power run here to the outside, and that's going to get right here Harris, nice engagement, nice hit there by Najee. And this is where Jackson's really got to find a way to squeeze through here, right? He wants to follow these blockers. We're going to get a D tackle that comes in here and disrupts this. But if you're Jackson, you have got to find a way to get out here. Stick with the play. We've seen him earlier not quite be willing to stick with the design as long as I'd like him to. Stick with this play and get out here, right? Make that happen. Instead, we get bunched up here. That's going to bring up a very precious 3rd down and 2 here for the offense. All right, 3rd down and 2. Again, Georgia still a 6-man box conflict defender here. Right, well off. A lot of options here for Florida. A lot of play calls you could find yourself wanting to do based upon this pre-snap look. But Georgia willing to elect to play a light box. Florida with an advantage here. They're going to elect to go with something I think they're going to wish they didn't elect to go with. And that's going to be a zone read. Now, I know why they went with this. We have put on film ourselves here versus Samford how good Warner is at actually running the zone read. He's very good at it. He's actually quicker than you think he'll be. And I think Florida thinks they have something here, perhaps even a chunk play. The problem is all game long, Georgia had been showing a very strong willingness to spill these plays. So they're basically going to do a gap exchange. They're going to spill this and they're going to come crashing in here hard and let the edge defender, in fact, be a linebacker. The problem with this is if they get off super clean like he is here, he's going to get to the exchange. And yes, if you can pull this ball quickly enough and get a block here, you're still okay, which is what Florida's thinking. Georgia's quick enough to just disrupt the timing entirely. And that's what happens here is he's here so fast. If he's right here, you're still okay. He's here so fast, the timing is totally disrupted. And by the time Aiden Warner pulls this ball, everything is slow. Momentum is gone. Now our down block here, our pin block there is not going to work, or we can't pin 11. Again, you imagine you want Warner to be faking this and shooting out with forward momentum. You want to pin this block here to the side. We just can't get it. Warner's slow to get out. The exchange is bumbled. He does beat 11 anyway, but now the corner's there, and it just, the timing is off, right? It doesn't work. I think Florida with a 6-man box wishes they could go back when Billy watches that film and just run the ball to the left yet again. High leverage play, extremely high leverage play in this game, where Florida even gains a yard or two or nothing, they can go for it. Instead, they got to line up for a field goal, another long field goal, or punt, right? And this is too far for Trey Smack. Not going to go for a 68-yarder, 69-yarder. You're going to punt here on 4th down and 4, which, look, in a lot of scenarios, you would never want to punt in this situation. But with a redshirt freshman who has no experience, a guy of your own choosing here, Georgia struggling, Carson Beck throwing picks, your defense giving you what you want, perhaps you try to pin them deep instead of going on 4th and 4, but make no mistake about it. The bottom line here is you did not want to lose yards on that play. You wanted to be somewhere in here to go for it again and try to get at least into field goal range to make this a 2-score game. This play, I think, is a sneaky, huge play in this game that Georgia makes and Florida does not, that led to the end result. It's a really big play here early in the 3rd quarter where Florida gets denied and then must punt. Georgia with a long drive of their own. That punt does not pay off. They score. They tie the game. And now Florida 1st down and 10. Georgia, again, upping the pressure here. 7-man box, 6 on the line of scrimmage, trying to deny Florida's run. Florida going to go with, okay, another 1st down play. We've tried play action. Last time didn't work. Let's try play action again. This time the fake. That's not a good fake. That's not going to work. Now we're going to hold here still. Hey, we respect that this guy can run the ball some. He likes to do it. We're not just going to spill this one, what you're hoping for. And then, of course, we're going to roll out to the right. The Billy Napier special, if you will, right? The hitches, the rollout rights. That's not going to be there. Warner going to just get out far enough outside the tackle box to throw this ball away. And that sets up 2nd down and 10. All right, 2nd and 10. How about left side, best side? Why not, right? Georgia here, 5-man front, 7 in the box. Here we go. You know what? Forget it. Doesn't matter. Let's get our left side, best side going. They know we're limited. We know we're limited. Let's just put a hat on a hat and see what happens. And look again at Florida getting out here, right? The left side doing their job. Sealing off right here is Waits. There's Barber working up the field, right? We got something cooking. And again, Georgia here unblocked in a good place to stop this play for not much. However, Jaden Ball is slippery. He's going to get out of there. There's Barber having some contact. There's Jaden Ball still going, getting all the way to almost a first down on that run, right? So Georgia loaded up for run, ready for run. They have a defender right there on the line of scrimmage. Doesn't matter. Jaden Ball makes it happen. Florida's running backs continue to impress. They continue to earn their own yardage in many ways in these games, and they get it done here again against Georgia. 3rd and 1 here for Florida. Big play in the game, knotted up at 13. Short yardage situation. Georgia elects this time 5 here on the line of scrimmage and a bare front. 8 in the box right here. What will Florida do to counter this 8 in the box? Left side, best side. Florida going to run split zone again. I think Billy and Florida's best concept in most situations helps to hold these backside linebackers, helps to hold the backside in general, gives your running back a chance to go for a two-way go. Along with a zone read component that we hang on to right here, gives the ball off. He's reading the edge man here, gives the ball off, and the pivotal moment of the play is going to occur right here between Jaden Ball and 24 in the hole. And right here, take a look at Ball doing what he does, cooking up some nastiness, right? He is going to be looking like he's coming into this gap here. This is his job to fill this gap anyway. He's going to be the B-side gap. And he's your edge defender who's separating right now and gaining control. He's already seen Jaden Ball bounce this outside multiple times this game. Doesn't want to let it happen again, but he's going to let it happen again. As look at Jaden, hard step in here. Meet Austin Barber, 24. You're gone. Now he's got to let Jaden beat him one-on-one. Right here to the outside, a matchup he needs to win, and he's just so quick. Again, on film, I don't think teams recognize how quick he is, and it's this limited action on him. They're going to see it after this Georgia game. Teams are going to know when you are controlling the edge versus this guy, you cannot treat him like a regular running back. He is so bursty, and you see it right there. He is so bursty that if he can get away from Georgia, he can probably get away from you, and he's going to turn this into an around-the-corner run. Where on 3rd down and 1, Ball again makes something out of nothing. Georgia has every single gap accounted for there. Florida runs into it anyway, but Jaden Ball makes magic happen. Camera of this exact running play we just looked at. And again, there's nothing here. That's Kurt's lines, not mine. But pause it up right there. The play is dead, right? Everything is dead. If you're Georgia, you filled this correctly. You filled right in here. It's up to your edge defender to control the edge. He feels comfortable. He feels good about where he is. He's pushing off Barber right now. He thinks he's in perfect place to get Jaden, but Jaden is just too quick for him. Just bursting onto the outside, turns something into nothing. Florida in business here at midfield, yet again, tied 13-13. 3rd down and 10 now. This seems hopeless for the Gators, especially because Georgia's playing, obviously, pass all the way. Going to be really hard, it seems like, for Florida to get this off. Florida goes into the bunch, tries to get Georgia into their stack adjust right here, and then they're going to run a whip out rather, with Badger, right? Warner going to run out for his life over here, going to escape the pocket, get some backside pressure coming here and here. Now we're running for our life. This seems, at this point in time, stop the tape, it's over, right? We're completely dead, like this play is done. But Warner's going to get off a spicy throw right here. Full jump, fully running to the right, and this is an absolute dot. That is a dot to Badger right there. And again, Badger running the whip out right here. Great route versus man defense. Just a sensational ball, allowing Badger to turn the corner and pick up a first down. I mean, that is a fantastic ball from Warner. It's the best ball he throws on this day. That's a big-time throw right there. Again, not conventional, not highly repeatable, but he sticks a 3rd down and 10 against the #1 passing defense, success rate-wise, in the country. And here's one more look. This will actually give you a shot of course, the route I just mentioned, and a better look at Warner from the backside, slinging this ball right here to Badger. Stop it right there. Come in right there, hard stop, whip out against man. Again, man defense for Florida. For Georgia rather, and he wins. Badger wins, but this is not exactly winning by a mile, even though he's got a good route, right? This has got a guy in his face, got to put this ball right on the money for this to be a completion while running. This is a perfect throw. That throw right there, that's perfection. That's a 10 out of 10 throw from Warner, and if nothing else, a heck of a moment for him right there to have that on film. That is a great throw. 3rd down and 6. Florida's got a 6-man box right now. Pre-snap, they bring the motion over. With Mizell, they stay with a 6-man box. So I like this call. I think in this situation with Warner here at quarterback, anytime Florida gets a 6-man box, they probably should run it. And they should probably run it left and live with the results, right? I think that's perfectly reasonable the way this game was going, the way the score is tied. It's exactly what Florida elects to do here. And yet again, you get another win. Look right here. Win-win. Left side, best side, right? Great stuff from the Gators on the left side. That time it's going to be Cameron Waits along with Barber doing the work here. Waits and Harris kind of interchangeable over there doing good work. I think Harris is playing better, but Waits still putting good stuff on film, as you see right there. And that's going to get Florida close, but not close enough to go for it, but it does make the field goal chance a little better. Still in that situation, I think it's a very reasonable call there, given what we saw on 3rd down and 6 from the Gators, a chance to try and take a lead here in this game. And unfortunately, this would become a major moment in the game here on 4th down and 3. Florida's special teams unit largely been very, very solid this year, and we're going to have a low snap that is not going to be caught by the holder and punter, Jace Chrisman. This is a tough situation all the way around from Florida. There's no guarantee, of course, he makes another deep field goal here if you're Trey Smack, but to have this field position go the way it does for the Gators is just seemingly, there it is right there, right? Just what's been happening for Florida. You just can't get out of your own way. You can't catch a break. The snap is too low. He tries to trap it right there, and it's just the perfect bad snap in all reality. That's it. Normally you can trap that ball there, and worst case scenario, you get up, run around, eat it. But instead, this thing just goes firing off all the bounces all the way down. Then we get more Palenko. Here we go. Cue the music, right? And there it is. Now Georgia set up on Florida's 35-yard line. Botch snap. Florida the chance to go up 16-13 there. Yeah, and that's it. I think Billy right there is thinking, man, I haven't achieved what I've wanted to achieve at Florida. I certainly haven't. However, in this game, my boys are playing really hard. I'm trying to prove the doubters wrong. Lagway gets hurt. Half my team gets hurt. And now I have a chance to go up 16-13. I got a redshirt freshman in there, and then right there, just why? Why me? Why do I deserve this? I'm a good dude. I'm trying my best. I've got the GNFP constantly writing me about how I'm failing a 3-year test. Why can't I just get a moment here, right? And that's the humanity of being a coach in general. And it's brutal. There's no way about it. This game was just really brutal for Florida, especially brutal given the Napier tenure and a chance for him to try to find a glimmer of light. And just at any moment he needs that moment, it goes the wrong way. And instead you see Georgia celebrating and just rough. There's Florida's long snapper, Underwood, a guy who really actually is a strong and quality athlete, often down there laying the wood on kickoff and punt, but just right there, just rough, can't get it right. That close to stopping it and making it not as bad, but there it goes. Off to the races we go. And there's just nothing anyone can do about that. So Florida 13-13 now, defense back on the field, momentum entirely pegged towards Georgia despite a nice little drive there from Warner and the Gators. And now Florida's going to get the ball back facing their first deficit of the game. All right, 3rd and 14, Florida facing their second deficit of the game. It was, of course, 3-0. It's 20-13 now. 3rd and 14, again, not where you want to be. This is the number one pass defense with regards to success rate in college football. And they know you're going to pass. They're going to bring just 4, a luxury they can have while often still getting pressure, and drop everyone else back into zone and see what Warner can do. Warner's going to escape, which was a nice pocket. Good enough job here by the Gators. They're not going to be, giving him all day back there, but he's got a chance to roll out here. He tries to make a play. You're down 20-13 whole fourth quarter. Of course, what you never want to do is throw late across the middle, especially not this far across the middle. He actually almost gets this ball through here. He's trying to make a play. I'm not going to fault him for that. Yes, that's the cardinal rule. You can't break it. You shouldn't break it. He should have taken the check down there instead. To Jackson, if you're going to make a throw across the middle late, take the shorter one. In general, really don't do it at all. Sometimes, of course, if you're Mahomes-like, or you're Lamar Jackson, or you're doing some other stuff, you get more leeway. You get more of a green light. But if you're a redshirt freshman from Yale, probably don't take that chance. He gets away with it right there. He gets away with it. And again, it is close. I mean, he actually almost sneaks this ball in there, as you're going to see from this other angle. It's pretty close. And so I wouldn't skewer him too badly in film review with this. I think ideally, though, you want him to stay in the pocket here. I think Warner this week needs to work on staying in the pocket more. You don't want to just constantly be escaping out here this way. You cut half the field off. It's not going to be ideal for you, right? And in this look and in this scenario here, he's got a little flare route here. That's covered up on top of. Obviously, this route here is the one you'd be looking for. He's going to look over top and then escape. So again, if he can stay in this pocket a little longer, he might have a chance to drive this throw here. Of course, if you're getting really saucy, you've got a seam route here, right? I mean, this is a lagway ball, and this is what you'd love to see is that throw is open. He's not going to make that throw. I'm just pointing out what Florida's running here progression-wise. So you've got this, you got a hitch, you got a little dig, right? Dig's a possible throw. But once you escape the pocket here, all bets are off. Now you're way off platform, and even though you bought some time, now things get to be pretty crazy. And of course, what he sees is like, hey, across the field, I have some open receivers. I can see that they are open. I just need to get it to him. And right here, this looks pretty promising. If you can just get it far enough over here, right? But oftentimes you underestimate how far that ball has to travel. And in reality, if he throws that ball how he wants to in his mind and he puts it over here, Florida's in for a big play. And so that's why I don't mind that. I think based upon that look and what I saw and what he saw, if he can put that ball into space more, then he's got a better play. The reason that you're coached not to do that is it's really hard running all the way this way to put the ball with velocity all the way over here where you think you're going to put it. That's the reality. Your mind tells you you have that. The body oftentimes does not. But a chance for a play on 3rd and 14 that could have actually been big. So there was a high reward for this risk. Doesn't wind up paying out for Florida. Florida's punting down 2013, and lucky not to have a pick, obviously, off this tip. But again, close, right? Tank's got this ball if it's over here. It doesn't wind up happening, so Florida's got a punt. 3rd and 7 now. These are all bad down and distances for the Gators, not where you want to be versus Georgia. Heavy inside leverage here from Georgia. They're going to make sure that if they want to go here, it's going to have to be something outside in this tiny little box. They are not going to let them hit any kind of in-breaking throw here. And again, Warner's not really going to make reads in this game. He's just going to open up right away, and that's where he's going. He's going to go right here to the one-on-one matchup. Georgia's fine with that. They're going to wall this off, give him basically a non-existent place to throw the football, and he's going to have to make an NFL-level throw here to, again, a receiver that's pretty well blanketed. He puts too much on this ball. You want to put this ball higher, a little softer. Defender's turned. Give him a chance to catch it up here. He kind of rockets this ball just too far, not catchable, not there. And then Georgia defender here is going to feel himself and decide to put Florida to sleep right there. There we go. He's going to put Florida to sleep, celebrating against a redshirt freshman. Why not? Good blanket there. Either way for the Gators, again, you just can't be in that situation versus Georgia. But what are you going to do? You have to play the hand you're dealt. Florida cagey. That missed field goal leads in where they are now. They're still in the game, though, in the fourth quarter, counting on the defense to give them another stop. Defense delivers another stop. Florida with good field position here on 1st down and 10. Can they get into scoring range? Again, Warner, this is going to get him into a lot of trouble. Of course, he's got a week to try to correct this before Texas. But he's staring down the one receiver he wants to go to. He's also a heavy body thrower. So he gets a decent amount behind his ball given his size, but he's very much a body thrower. Look how much he has to put into this heavy body finish there. A lot of drive. Of course, the more you have to do that, the more inaccurate you're going to be. Thankfully, all of his misses in this game were largely airmailed. They were too far. And if you're going to miss too far, right? That's a good thing. But there's just nothing there. I think his willingness to throw when there's nothing there is going to be a problem. As teams look for that on film, they're going to see a guy who looks only at his first read. If it's not there, he escapes the pocket to the outside, and then he will throw balls to his first read. He will force it in there, and I think that's a recipe for disaster moving forward. Florida will have to do a lot of work this week to figure out how to not have that happen. Dodging bullets here, though, on 1st down. Second down and 10, and the plus side of the ledger, though, for Warner is that he is not afraid to sling it. He's gonna put the ball up, and he's gonna put a interesting throw here, but a nice throw to Badger. He IDs him early and then goes to him, and at first you're thinking this is one of the weirder throws I've seen, and you would be largely correct. But he's gonna throw it, as we're gonna see from the other angle, because this dropping linebacker's back is turned, right? And this is, in fact, a good decision and a good throw. He's going to put that ball in a good throw window and pick up an explosive play through the air on second down and 10. So again, Florida finds ways when they need a play. They're finding ways to get it. That's Kurt drawing on your screen. There's your drop where he's highlighted. There's your play action. The play action works. Again, Florida likely to run the ball. Play action works, holds him long enough to get this over route in business. Now Georgia dropping as quickly as he can to get in this window. And look, if you're not more of the, hey, I'm going to sling it kind of mentality, you probably just don't throw this ball. You're thinking, got a safety on top. I can't put this ball up into the window. I've got a defender with his back turned. Where am I really going to go with this ball? Maybe I just run right out here and get 2 yards, right? He doesn't. Instead, he says, hey, you know what? I know that if his back is turned, he can't play defense. I'm just going to give him a shot by basically throwing it right at him, which is, in fact, not a bad idea. He literally throws it right at him. Not a ton of zip on that ball. Again, he's a big body thrower. Not a ton of zip on the ball, but you know what? It works. And that's actually a very good decision. So a very good cerebral decision by him there leads to an explosive passing play for the Gators. After a costly penalty, Florida's got 1st and 20. Let's hit a little left side, best side here, and let's watch Jakeem Jackson break some tackles. Just a zone run to the left. Right here, there's not a whole lot going, but Jakeem's going to find his way behind Najee Harris, break a tackle or two there, and find his way forward to at least get close to the original line of scrimmage. So again, Florida's running backs breaking tackles in this game was a big reason why Florida was able to hang in there. All right, Georgia now well aware of left side, best side. So Florida says, hey, let's try the right side. Maybe we can make something happen here. And again, Georgia pre-snap in perfectly reasonable position to make a stop here. But Florida says, forget that. I don't really care. We're going there anyway. And split zone action again. I keep saying that Florida, I think it's their best and most consistent running play under Billy. The split zone holding the backside defenders here. It's why it's a good look. We're going to bottle this up. Look at Badger right here. And again, I like what I like about film review is you can see a guy struggle and then you can see a guy get into it, right? Hey, I got a redshirt freshman back here. I need to be physical. And bingo, he's got a 2-for-1 right here. Great work, Badger. Right? Film review is never personal. It's just here to be as objective as possible with what's on film and tell guys, hey, look, you got to rise to the occasion. And so Badger right here, putting some stuff on film. Hey, listen, James at GNFP, right? Don't ride me early on when you know later on you're going to show a good block. I'm capable of doing it. I've done it before. Here I am doing it now, and I'm going to carry this guy as far as I can. That's big. Badger's a major reason why this play is going to result the way that it does. He gets a lot of credit for this play. And then Georgia's number 7 here, who's already whiffed earlier in the day pretty badly, is going to whiff again. They might need to consider what to do about this. Could be a problem down the road for them because there's another cooked look from him. He's trashed. And there goes Jackson. And look, Badger still blocking. Of course, you see DK right here. Again, right? I mean, how often can I give props to DK? Sorry, that's Mizell. DK coming in over here to get a block. And Mizell again, right? Consistently. Every time we see this guy in film, he's doing the little things besides just running routes. And now we've got Badger still owning this guy. And here comes DK coming in for a finishing block. And there it is. Those blocks all add up. They all matter. That's not a touchdown if the receivers aren't blocking all the way down the field. And they do it. And they set that up and they put Florida into the end zone. And we're tied midway in the fourth quarter with a bunch of dudes out on a redshirt freshman walk-on quarterback that Billy's elected to play. We're in there. And here is a look from the end zone. And look at what Florida's able to do. Blocking, once again, let's focus on Badger, right side of your screen, enters in, gets the 2-on-1 for a second, and then he's going to ride this guy all the way till the end zone. Check. Look at Mizell out here, 1-on-1. Check. Then DK coming from all the way across the formation to finish that. That is why this play is going to work, right? Then all Jackson needs to do is make one guy miss. That's all he needs to do, and that's going to be made easier. That's not me rewinding, by the way. It's Kurt rewinding. It's the replay that we have. And this is it. Thanks to the block that we've gotten here from Badger already, now we have a chance to make a move as he's out of position, cut him up, and then there goes Badger. Like I mentioned, still here, still winning, all the way down. DK in the end of your screen, finish. That is highlight-worthy stuff. Play that on loop in the facility all week long and get your team fired up about what it takes for 11 guys working as one to make a running play work. As Florida's going to need a lot more of that to get any kind of offensive production as they head through the rest of this gauntlet this season. But that's a thing of beauty right there, something each player should be proud of against Georgia, tying this game up in the fourth. Georgia scores again, 27-20. Can Florida find some magic one more time with 4 minutes left? It's pretty amazing. They're in the game at this point in time, but they are in the game. They need to make something happen. And of course, dig into the bag of tricks and hit that play action roll out right button. Let's do it. It's what we want to do. We're going to do it. Here we come. It's the play we all love and know. And then here it is, right? You've got DK on the backside just standing here, check down. Never thrown that before. And now we're here. And then we've got one coming over the top here. And Georgia, again, has seen this play a lot. We're under this, over the top of this. We're going to see from the other angle, there is a window to make this throw right now, which we've seen Lagway do. Warner, again, reading low to high. In fact, he's probably actually reading Mizell here first. But either way, he's going to see the open receiver late, much like we saw earlier on the missed ball. Now he's going to come to that receiver, and it's late. And now it gives a chance for that linebacker to peel off and get into the window. And then there you go. Right there it is. Great pick. That's a great pick. I'm not going to ride Warner hard in this game. He's in an impossible position, right? For him to learn that scenario, you can't just have a guy who's never played college football at all start reading things quickly or fast like a veteran would. You can't do it. You can't expect it. You can coach him so he can learn from it, and he can see it. He claps it up right there. He knows, right? He knows that was too slow. He knows that was too late. But a lot of guys don't make that play either, and that's kind of the deal. As we go through this right here, and you're going to see this again illustrated by Kurt. I'll put my own drawing in a second. Right here, he's going to read Mizell. He's reading Mizell on this hitch route. That's the number one look for him. And that route, if he threw it right away, could have been there. But you've got a dropping defender on balance. It's very, very dangerous throw on first down, right? I can see why you don't want that throw. He would need to throw that ball early. He misses that throw, and now he comes across to this throw. And that's fine, except he needs to throw the ball, right? Now that he sees it, throw it, set it, throw it, set your feet and throw. And instead we're going to get Kurt manically rewinding it. I don't know why he has to rewind it 65 times, but he's going to come on, Kurt. Stop rewinding the dumb tape. You don't need to keep rewinding it, right? Here we go. Yes, that's the low guy. He's not even looking at him, and now he sees, right? So he's gone about 4 steps here. Now he wants to throw, and he goes 2 more steps, and all of that is the time that allows for him to realize, hey, wait a minute. He's not going over here. He's going over my head. So I'm not going to force us through the Kirk rewind, but I'm going to show you how many yards has occurred, right? When I started this, he was actually here. He's looking at Mizell. His head turns, and you'd like to get rid of the ball by here, ideally. Head turn, 1, 2, throw. If he does that, he has a completion. Let's see where he actually throws the ball. Sees him, right? And he's going to wind up all the way here. So football is a game of details. Throwing from here versus here makes all the difference. And you can see that with the leverage. If he throws from here, he's got a big window to put it into, and now he doesn't. He's going to throw this ball slightly across his body. He's going to peel back into the window. And the throw that was there to an open receiver is no longer there. There it is. And a nice play is made there from Georgia. And that's basically going to seal Florida's fate. We'll take a look at 1 or 2 more plays here. At least he makes the tackle. But ultimately, that is going to seal his fate. As he rolls out, there's the Mizell read. There's the second read. Look, in real time, it's fast. That's why quarterback is the hardest position to play. Right? In real time, you're thinking, hey, he saw that pretty quickly. He did. But again, if he sees it that much faster, if he can get to that progression quicker, that play is available. And that is the difference when you play a team like Georgia between success and failure. It's that small. It's that significant. And that's going to lead to Georgia getting yet another touchdown here and Florida feeling the frustration. But look, you can't hang your head if you're Warner, right? I mean, he's in there. He's slinging. He's playing one of the best defenses against the pass in college football, especially when it comes to success rate. And they make him pay right there. All right, 4th and 7 now. If you're Warner, you feel like, hey, it's over. It's 34-20. Let's pack it in. Let's go home. And Warner says, no, I'm still going to sling. Little play action on 4th and 7. Georgia brings the blitz. Warner going to hang in there, staying in the pocket this time. I like this, right? Set your feet in the pocket, face the pressure, and deliver. And he does. He delivers a great ball here. Versus the pressure, great ball here. I think other teams are going to see this and elect to play, again, a lot more zone. Georgia heats him up there, kind of feeling good with the 2-score lead, and he answers the bell there. I think if you're facing Warner, you probably don't want to do that against him. Limited sample size here, but again, pretty comfortable with what he puts on film there on 4th and 7 to Mizell. Again, very productive day for him. That's going to take us down to this 4th and 17 look. This is an impossible scenario. Game essentially over here. Georgia with everything they want. Florida way behind the sticks. Going to stay in the pocket here. I like that too, right? Stay in the pocket there for as long as you can, and then you're just putting up. I mean, you're putting up. What are you putting up there? You really got a whole lot of nothing. Ideally, though, he's locking onto one guy. Ideally, try to find at least a 1-on-1 rather than a 2-on-1. But we're being nitpicky here. We want holding there in the middle. We don't get it, and that's going to do it right there for Florida. So 4th and 17. That's going to end it. Unfortunately, Georgia now with their 4th straight win. They've won 7 of 8. Handling the Gators, clapping up the Gators. It is totally flipped from where, depending on your age, Florida won basically every game, or depending on your age, Florida lost every game, then won every game, and is now losing every game. And that tends to be how this series goes. Billy loses 3 straight to Kirby. This was by far the most competitive one and also the most frustrating one for Napier. A lot of good excuses for why this one did not go Florida's way, but at the end of the day, still a loss nonetheless. As always, I hope you enjoyed this film breakdown. Hope you didn't mind the length of it. It's probably going to be the longest one I'm going to do for the rest of the season. I think Florida's going to be in for a rough ride, so I'm going to shorten these things up quite a bit. So it felt right to kind of give a last post-mortem film review, if you will. But as always, let me know in the comments what you thought about it, and I'll alter it and tweak it for the future. As always, I'm James DiVirgilio from the Gator Nation Football Podcast, and I look forward to being back with you next week when I'll break down the film against Texas.